I saw that Arby's has steak nuggets now. Do you know about this?
Good for them.
They're
I'm suspicious.
they look great. I haven't ordered them because I'm afraid of them, but they are like square cubes of steak meat that
Don't
look like
order Arby's to your house, you fucking Philistine. Like
for,
that's
why not?
absurd. That's
What,
crazy. Just drive to Arby's. That's so crazy.
why would I drive there? They'll bring it straight to me.
Because they charge you like fucking 25% extra to bring you now cold beef nuggets.
We're eating steak nuggets from Arby's. The sky's the limit, Taylor. I mean, 25 extra is only going to get us to $15. Look at those. Those look yummy.
That doesn't look bad, but this is the best they could muster.
This is clearly a
What the fuck?
customer's
Actually, what is
Yeah,
that?
this is just a
It's
drink
not a
lid
customer.
on a log
Yeah.
on a couch, seemingly.
Look at that.
Okay,
Oh.
real ones.
Okay, they look pretty good.
The plastic container is taking away from it for me.
Well, it's Arby's. What do you want? A crystal goblet of steak nuggets?
I don't
Yeah,
know
that's
what
as
I
classy
want.
as it
A
gets.
plate?
I would like toothpicks in each one. That would class it up a little. I don't have to grab it.
I'll
with
go
my
to
bare hands.
IHOP or something and get food on a plate. They have steak nuggets, I think.
They don't have steak nuggets like this at IHOP. Look at that. They got a whole bowl of them there. It's overflowing with steak.
That looks pretty good. All right, credit to Arby's. There are no Arby's around here. I can't even try these.
I would like a horseradish mayo to dip them in.
Arby's got run out of town in Missouri the same way the Mormons did years ago because Lion's Choice came in and stole all their market share. Now there's no
Zach,
Arby's.
Can you find a flattering picture of IHOP steak tips? Let me show you what
that's
Arby's
a whole
is
different
competing with.
meal. Chuck, what's the MSRP on these steak tips? Let's include that.
You're buying steak tips at IHOP?
Dude, they're shockingly good.
I believe you, but that's a
It's
funny order.
Been a while.
Oh, yum yum. That, by the way, I think this is a picture from. Yeah, okay. I've ordered this same meal many times. Because
Can't be too bad.
yeah, it was $9.99 for like the
Like a
sirloin
prison
steak, those garlic mashed potatoes, and that broccoli, and you could get it delivered for like $12.50, and it was on my like diet plan. So I would order this a lot when I couldn't be bothered to cook.
IHOP steak tips are good. They'll probably make you fat. I can't imagine.
That's just steak.
And potatoes.
Well, I mean,
I
it's
wonder
just
how many
carbs.
calories are on
You can
that
order
plate.
those potatoes without butter, and so it's just potatoes. Same with the broccoli. That's how I would sadly order them.
Yeah. Mashed potatoes are the riskiest kind of potatoes to
Go
order
on.
if you're trying to be calorie conscious. I mean,
Oh,
because sometimes you'll get mashed potatoes served with your steak and it's like you can taste it immediately. It's like this is over half cream and butter. Like they couldn't fool me this way if I just got the baked potato. Then I'd have a little more control over my situation. So I try to avoid the mashed potatoes because I don't like them any more than roasted potatoes or baked potatoes. I know some people are all about mashed, but it's I mean, like food that you have to chew is good too, though. Like stuff that you don't have to chew is kind of weird. Yogurt's
No, I like
odd
it.
enough.
I like it. I feel like I pretend like I'm an old person in a retirement home, and this is my last meal, and it's extra fancy.
It's high calorie and it slides down your throat immediately, and so it's like the worst of both worlds. You're not even getting
crumb a
all the
little bacon
food.
in there if you want, but I like mashed potatoes. I got a potato ricer. You know, it's the big squishy thing that rices the potatoes out. They're incredibly smooth. That's one of my favorite things to make is mashed potatoes. Boil them for 12 minutes, mash them, a little cream, a little butter, salt, pepper. Oh man, it's good stuff.
I like cubing up the potatoes in small pieces, and I roast them with a little olive oil and also garlic and rosemary and salt, obviously.
Rosemary is overrated. I don't care for it.
That's a wild take. Rosemary's great.
I've had enough rosemary and its influence on the steak
Talking
world.
about this, I almost said the N-word. You're talking about.
Oh, and they say those conservative chat rooms were overblown. You see how casually these bigots throw that bandy that word about.
It's because it would have been a funnier way to phrase it. But you're talking about these potatoes you love, but you're not a rosemary man, which is crazy because rosemary is like the most dovetailed herb for potatoes. Well, I mean, garlic goes without saying.
I put like 4 times as much garlic as you're supposed to in everything. I love garlic. I want to taste the garlic. I want to smell the garlic. The house should stink of garlic.
I agree. Yeah.
Sounds good.
You can never have too much garlic.
I made a pasta yesterday where I took I made my marinara sauce with like 8 cloves of garlic and a 28-ounce can of tomatoes, and then I added ricotta cheese to the sauce and the noodles and turned it into this like creamy marinara sauce that was pink. It was so good.
I've never thought about using ricotta in that way.
You mix it in the same way you would with like a lasagna or something like that. Just mix it straight into marinara. Yeah, it's a great cheese. It's a cheese I had no experience with until I was a man grown. My parents don't know what ricotta cheese is.
No, I bet my grandparents aren't familiar with like ricotta cheese either.
I didn't know what cottage cheese was until I was like 30.
Cottage cheese is my least favorite kind of cheese.
Is it really even a cheese? Isn't it just like some sort of weird chunky yogurt?
It's just like every time I've had cottage cheese, I'm like, this is worse Greek yogurt. I'd rather just have Greek yogurt if I'm going to be eating this.
Yeah, I don't want any cottage cheese in my life.
And even the Greek yogurt, that kind that has a little flavor in it, the stevia, not stevia. No, I think it is stevia. The oikos, like stevia flavored vanilla Greek yogurt. That's the way to do it. You can't eat that kind of Greek yogurt and then go back to plain Greek yogurt because you're like, this is the most boring thing of all time.
There was a study that came out about stevia recently. Apparently, men who use stevia regularly, it makes their minoxidil hair loss treatment like 90% more effective for some reason. Somehow those two things work together to prevent hair loss.
Interesting. If I just start going bald, I think I'm just going to let it happen. But that's an easy thing to say. And that's just a weird bird not to shoot, because he said he thought dove tasted delicious, and quail is really not a far cry from dove as far as how it tastes. All those
not
little...
a cuddle of pheasant. That does not seem to exist. Two pheasants would be a brace of pheasants. A small flock of pheasants would be a convy. A group you might call a nide or need. I don't know the pronunciation. A colorful group of pheasants you'd call a bouquet.
A covey, C-O-V-E-Y, is one term for them. Maybe I came close.
I like that. We've been playing a ton of Battlefield.
Of quail.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I've heard that before.
Oh, well, that was the bird he was talking about, quail, which is like a little pheasant or a big dove.
I've eaten quail and dove. I have not eaten pheasant. I've eaten duck too. All things that we've like shot and eaten. I've never gone to the store and bought dove.
Duck is great. You were ripping on duck the other night in our chat.
I'd rather have fucking like fast food chicken than like, you know, some dove that you shot out of the sky and then cooked in your kitchen. But if you've got some chef at a restaurant who's going to make a delicious duck breast, I'd be down for that.
Yeah. I mean, the whole point of the duck is that it's fatty as hell compared to the other fowl, because it's a waterfowl. So it has that like thick fat layer because it has to sit in the water all the time and it doesn't want to be chilly.
I thought their feathers did that for them. The fat layer makes sense, but I was just always told it was their magical feathers that were somehow waterproof. Water off a duck's back is a thing. I thought they didn't feel the water too much.
I don't think they do. It's probably a combination.
They've been exaggerating the magic feathers, perhaps.
Because just the other night, like 2 nights ago, my girlfriend bought a duck from this like butcher, like local butcher, and it alarmed me because she was like, hey, you need to take, she like texted me in the middle of the day, Tuesday, and was like, you need to take it out and dry it and then set it in the fridge on a like dry baking sheet with just like a loose covering of foil or something on top. And, you know, make sure it's completely dry. And I'm like, all right, well, I dry chicken wings every week because I make chicken wings at least once a week. And so I dry off this duck, but when I take it out of the package, it's like the amount of neck length is like alarming. Like it was like a probably foot long neck where the head had been chopped off.
That wasn't the neck, Taylor. I hate to tell you.
I see that reaction a lot. I know exact. I can picture your face.
I was like, oh, it's not going to fit.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I got the duck out, dried it off and everything. And then I felt like she last night, she cooked it up, made it and everything. And I felt like a retard trying to carve up this duck and get the meat off, because in my head, I was like, this is going to carve up exactly like a chicken does, where like you kind of can feel with the knife before you plunge in the joint on the wing and the joint on the leg, and like where exactly you need to carve to get the breast meat off so you don't leave a bunch behind. And I just butchered this duck, because I was like trying to carve from the top the way you would a chicken, and I'm like, where? It's all ribs. Like it's nothing but ribs. So I was just slapdash cuts all over the place. It looked more like a stew afterward, the amount that I had chopped up, and like they were smaller pieces, but it was great. It was delicious. I love that fatty duck skin, which I can't believe you don't like.
Nah, no thanks. I don't need to expand my horizons too much further than I already have. I don't need any new birds, any new waterfowl in my diet. I think I'm good with the balance I've struck. Mostly just turkey and chicken. I don't like carving them up either. I'm not very good at that. That's why I like the turkey. You can just sort of hack at the breast and cut a big wedge out of that, and everything's fine.
Yeah, turkey's easy. It's like all meat. Like you can hardly make a bad cut. Ducks, just ribs galore. And then like I flipped it onto its bottom side, and I was like, oh, so this is where a lot of the duck meat is, on the bottom side. A lot of this like fatty, good meat. But learning experience.